Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana. If you didn't know, I review skincare, sunscreen, makeup, I don't know. I talk about stuff on the internet. And today I am reviewing another sunscreen. It sounds like crazy, but also not, because that's what my channel is about. But there have been so many new releases lately, and I've been trying to get through them while also kind of getting back to work. Not kind of, I have. I took an extended time off of work, off of YouTube, and now I'm back. And I've got some sunscreens to go through. So today we are going through the Ciele Prime and Protect SPF 30. I've been wearing this a lot lately, so spoiler, I like it a lot. But we're just gonna go through it, and then I am also going to be filming another video on some new makeup that you guys have also requested. So it's gonna be a two-per kind of day, and you're gonna see what this looks like underneath makeup. And then I will also, hopefully you can see the next video when it comes out. Spoiler also, 2 spoilers in like 2 minutes. It's on the brand Versed and their new, I guess, makeup, a little bit skincare, but mostly like their makeup that they just came out with. So all that to say, let's get into it. If you didn't already subscribe, please do like this video. We're doing it in natural light. I've got some like overhead lights on. It's a little bit of a cloudy day, so I will try to get you some shots in natural light, but just keep that in mind when you are watching this video. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so like I do in every video where I am applying sunscreen to my face, first off, I'm gonna zoom you in. It's just lovely to see all the pores on my face. And then I always apply, in these videos, I always apply the sunscreen with 1/4 teaspoon. There's debate out there if you use a 1/2 teaspoon, a full teaspoon, a 1/4 teaspoon. I've always used a 1/4 teaspoon. There's some research that suggests that a 1/4 is fine for most people's face. I think if you start going into the full teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, you're getting to the point where like hardly any sunscreens are gonna work, with the exception of just a chemical Korean sunscreen, because they're either gonna be too greasy, they're gonna have way too much pigment, too much of a white cast. So just to say all that, because I think a 1/4 is fine, and I think I've been doing it for long enough that my face, I don't feel like it gets burnt, is protecting me from UVA and UVB rays, and it's just a good enough kind of measurement. The other thing I should say, I'm gonna shake this because it's been sitting, it's been on its side lately, but if you don't have a 1/4 teaspoon, one really good method is your finger length method, and people kind of go between 2 and 3 finger lengths. So what you can do the very first time you use a new sunscreen is measure it out, take your 1/4 teaspoon and scoop it into it. And then that was 1. Now I'm gonna do 2, and I always do pretty fat amounts. We're not doing thin amounts. And this is 2, and you can see that 2 finger lengths is perfect. And then I don't have to measure it out with a 1/4 teaspoon every single time. You can, but it's just a really good way to know. And it's a little bit less precise, but just make sure you're using the kind of like a fatter amount on your finger. So with all that said, I'm going to start applying. So this is the new Prime and Protect SPF 30+ from Ciele. They call it a hydrating primer that smooths skin and grips makeup, and it retails for $38. It also comes in 1.69 fluid ounces or 50 milliliters. That's your standard amount for most sunscreens. So they say that this is a lightweight formula for seamless application. It smooths skin and grips makeup, and that it has a non-nano mineral based broad spectrum SPF 30+. The other big thing that they kind of pull out is that it is acne safe, which they say it's the first acne safe primer SPF. I don't know if that's really a thing. I mean, it is a thing that it can be acne safe, but there are also plenty of other sunscreens that are also acne safe. They're just using this marketing kind of term to, you know, get a little bit more buzz. As far as their ingredients, you do have 10% zinc oxide, which is a little bit lower than some of the other sunscreens that I've been using lately, but it is SPF 30, so you should be covered for the most part. It's not water resistant, not like sweat resistant, that kind of thing. So if you are doing a lot of outdoor activities or just out in the sun, it's gonna be something that you are going to need to reapply to get the best coverage and protection, but it is gonna be substantial and suitable for most everyday activities. There is no scent, it is fragrance free, which is great. And then they also say no talc, but this is one of those things where it's like, there probably isn't gonna be talc in most sunscreens. So they're kind of using these buzzwords again. It's like no parabens, no sulfates, no talc is now a new one that it makes you think it's better than it is, but also like probably talc shouldn't have been in there, especially if it's not gonna be something that's mattifying, but that is that. As far as ingredients, the only two that they really call out are vitamin E and then green tea leaf oil. Vitamin E is a very standard antioxidant. It is a great ingredient, but it's not something that's like unique or that revolutionary. And then green tea leaf oil is supposed to protect your skin from daily aggressors, kind of another antioxidant. Again, I don't think that this sunscreen or primer, whatever you want to call it, is really the thing that you're going to go to for all your skincare. It may have nice ingredients in it, some added bonuses, that kind of thing. But like I pretty much always say, don't go to this sunscreen for your skincare, just a little bonus, a topper, if you will. As far as the finish and the tint, before I put makeup on, I did want to just talk about the finish, the natural finish of it, and then also the tint. As far as the finish, I don't have any skincare on. I have been barefaced all morning. I've been doing some work and all that kind of thing. And so the glow that you see is a little bit from this primer SPF. It also is a product of my skin type. Right now, my skin is very balanced, very normal. I do get a little bit more oily in the T-zone, but this glow is kind of from this primer, but at the same time, it does set down. So like right now, my skin feels nice and tacky, which is perfect if it's a primer and that's what you're going for. So I would consider this something that would be good for a lot of different skin types. Now, if you have super oily skin and you really like do not need any extra glow and you want to start off with a mattifying finish, this may not be the exact perfect one for you, because you can see I already have this kind of glow without doing much at all. But you can also tame it down pretty easily. The thing that I've been using lately is this crazy little egg. This is from, what's the brand? I'll list the brand in the description below. But this is just a primer and I'm gonna use it today because I don't really want it to be that glowy. And so it's just like this little putty primer and you kind of just need a little bit. And if you have oily skin, you probably already know. And this is just gonna tame down that glow. So as you see, that side, already the glow is down and you don't need a lot to just kind of tame it a bit. So if you are, you are oily, but you're looking for a mineral SPF primer, this could be a good option and you would just maybe use another kind of like mattifying primer over top. There we go. So that just gives me like a little bit less glow. I still have it on my high points, but it's not too much. And then in terms of the actual tone and tint of this, it's one of my very favorite tones. I keep trying different ones. Last year it was the Lightsaber. I was like, this is the most neutral undertone. It just works really well. It doesn't give me any added coverage or actual pigment. This is better than that. It's insane. And I'm gonna insert a video of some swatches that I took of some of the like neutral or what I thought were neutral or like lack of a tint mineral sunscreens. And then you can kind of see the difference between the Ciele, what I talked about, the Lightsaber, and then I think I have two others in that swatch. And you can kind of see that, of course, like it does matter what your skin tone is, if you have a deeper or warmer, or if you have a very neutral or fair, and you can kind of tell which one would work best for you. I think for me, this is a really great one because it is just neutral. It's very in the middle, but if I were maybe paler, then I would reach for something else. Or if I had a warmer, deeper complexion, I would reach for something else. So I'll insert that now and you can see. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put my makeup on, and then I'm gonna come back and show you what it looks like underneath makeup and wrap this video up. Okay, see you in a little bit. Here you can see each one with their bottle. All right, guys, we are wrapping this video up. I have changed clothes. I've gone through workouts a day, that kind of thing. And I want to show you what it looks like underneath makeup and also kind of, give you my final thoughts. So first off, I've been using this pretty much nonstop. Like the other day when I went to use it, I was like, oh, I'm having to shake it. Like there's less in there than I thought there was. I have not run out, obviously, but I have just been absolutely adoring it. I feel like this is such a versatile sunscreen. So a lot of different skin types and a lot of different skin tones I think are gonna really enjoy this. People have asked me if it works if you have more oily skin, and I think the answer is yes. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna give you a matte finish. It's not gonna give you a like dewy kind of glowy finish if you have dry skin, but you can manipulate it in the best way. So just add more skincare if you have drier skin and you want more glow. If you have more oily skin and you don't want that glow, just maybe do a little less skincare or add a primer. The one that I've been using is, I used this little primer from TONYMOLY, which I was not expecting to like it, but something like this where you can just put it in your T-zone if that's where you need it, and it blurs out kind of the oiliness that maybe is just there naturally. So I think that in terms of the skin types, it is very flexible. It also works beautifully underneath makeup, which is really not a surprise. This is a makeup brand. They call it Prime and Protect. So if it didn't work well underneath makeup, I'd be like, what did you spend all that money on developing this product? Why did you bring it to market? It does sit beautifully underneath makeup. I also can wear it on its own. It doesn't have so much of a tint that I really feel like it's extra. Like it's not makeup, it's really no makeup. But if you are looking for more of a coverage tint type of thing, this would not be my first suggestion. But for those days where you just want to throw on some sunscreen and not worry, this is a really good one. The other thing, when I put in those clips of the other sunscreens, this one to me feels like the most neutral kind of an undertone. But if you are super fair or if you are deeper, then it may not be perfect for you. But for those people that kind of just want that neutral tone where then you can add bronzer or you can add anything, this is a good option. And then of course I added some options that maybe could fit if you're a different skin tone. So now let's just zoom on in because I don't know, I feel like it sits perfectly underneath makeup. And this is today with foundation. This is the FENTY Soft Lit. I have also worn it underneath skin tints. Like I said, I've worn it on its own. This is just a little bit of mascara. And yeah, the only time I've ever had any pilling was my complete fault. I had not exfoliated for a while, and it wasn't even this. I think it was the skin tint that I used, and I did have pilling, but it's hard to kind of say that like this was the cause because I'd never had it before. I'd never had it since. It was kind of a one-time thing. But I don't think for me, it really causes any pilling, which is wonderful because a lot of mineral sunscreens do. So I think we can just end it here. I think that this is truly one of the best sunscreens of the year. I know we're only in March, but it's going on my list, and I hope you enjoy it if you do pick it up. It is not cheap, but I think it's gonna be a really good sunscreen for a lot of people out there. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.